Um, this is the 15 minutes of positivity practice group. We meet every day, Monday through Friday, just for 15 minutes. And the idea is that we, as a group, get together and carve out some time, stimulating these parts of our brains that allow us to cultivate these sort of foundational experiences of wellness. And so I actually love this image here, this guy with a watering can growing a brain tree. And that's really what we're doing. So today's theme or mantra, if you will, is growing temporary states into permanent traits. So temporary states, I think we all have throughout any given day, we have these temporary moments where we experience states of gratitude or wellness or groundedness or equanimity, love, all the stuff that we, that at least in my experience makes up for the good life. And even when we're anxious or depressed, there's little glimpses of it here and there. And the challenge is, how do we turn those temporary states into permanent traits, meaning permanent fixtures in our neurology, in our in our mental experience? And the short answer to it is, we have a couple choices here. We can either cross our fingers and hope that life will just sort of give us what we want and that things work out. And in my experience, that typically doesn't necessarily, bode well for me. At least I'm kind of waiting for it to happen. Or I can intentionally step into a place of action and practice. And even though it can feel really difficult, when we're struggling with depression or anxiety or other emotional issues, just getting into a routine or doing what we're doing here can make all the difference. And so just a reminder, like, that the whole idea of what we're doing here is we are getting together to intentionally activate or grow this capacity that we have for certain cognitive and emotional experiences, right? We're choosing them. So every week, we're doing mindfulness or gratitude or compassion. And today we'll do self-awareness. But the idea is that we're intentionally doing this just for a few minutes a day. And the key here is consistency in activating those networks that give us those temporary states. And the more we do that, the more our neurology adapts, and these then become, permanent traits that just becomes more of a default way of how we go through life. And there's lots and lots of wonderful research that shows, maybe in another session, I'll actually show some pictures of neurons and what it actually looks like when they're all wiring up. So today, we're going to do self-awareness. And I chose this picture because I know I've had COVID for the last several days. So I've been, frantically washing my hands. I'm at my parents' place. They're elderly, and of course I'm, paranoid that I'm going to give it to them. And so I've been washing my hands all the time. And I've noticed for much of the time, it's been a really almost like an obsessive kind of thing. And I just do it. And I just want to get to the end of it and know that my hands are clean. And the last couple of days, I've been actually able to slow down a little bit and appreciate that. Wow, how amazing is this? I get to go to this room and I turn on this lever and this warm water comes out, and it's actually an incredibly pleasurable experience to be able to wash my hands and have water just, there it is. So I actually close my eyes and really feel into the experience. And it reminded me of this expression that I once heard someone say, which is, and so much of our life, I think, falls into this. We just go from one experience to the next, not really present for it, or not really aware that it's happening. And so life, or big chunks of our days, just end up being these series of continuous happenings, but they're not really experiences that we're fully present for, fully aware of. And so the cool thing is, self-awareness is one of those foundational wellness skills. The other adage is, you can't manage it if you can't measure it. So if you don't know that it's happening, meaning if you don't know that you're having, compulsive thoughts or ruminations, or if you don't know that you're in whatever, stressed out state that you're in, it's really hard to catch yourself and extricate yourself from it. and you're just kind of a marionette getting jerked around. And so today we're going to do a body scan, which is one of these really foundational self-awareness skills. And the idea is just to take a journey through our body and just see what we are noticing and what we're feeling and the sensations and whatever accompanying thoughts are there. And we'll just do that for a few minutes, and then, you know, um, so yeah, let's just get started. So start off by finding a comfortable position, sort of alert and upright. I like to close my eyes, um, and I like to start off just really grounding myself. So feeling myself in contact with the chair, my back, my buttocks, my legs. My hands are in my lap. I can feel the contact of my hands in my on my thighs, and then noticing how my feet are in contact with the ground. And then I like to wiggle my toes to really bring my full attention to the sensation of my feet in contact with the ground. There's something really wonderful and simple about this level of attention, which is right here, right now. All that's happening is we're sitting in our chair, our feet are on the ground. Now I'm noticing my body breathing. And I like to look for the telltale signs in my body that breath is happening. So in breath and out breath. And start with your nostrils, noticing like, what is it? How do you know that you're breathing? You focus on your nostrils. Noticing cool air entering, entering your nostrils and then warm air exiting. Rest your attention there for a second and notice that. And then notice how the cool air as it enters your nostrils actually passes down your throat into your lungs. You might even be able to hear it or feel the air passing through your throat, and noticing your shoulders rising and falling with each in-breath, out-breath. Your rib cage expanding and contracting. You can feel it in the front as well as the back. So you have the cool air entering your nostrils, passing down your throat, into your lungs, shoulders rising and falling, rib cage expanding and contracting. And notice breath in your belly. That's what's happening on its own. The body knows exactly how to perform this function thousands of times a day. If your mind wanders, you notice it going elsewhere, it's okay. And you notice it, just bring it back to this breathing. with your nostrils, and moving to your throat, and then to your shoulders, just observing, into your ribs, down to your belly, and moving your attention back up to your ribs, back up to your shoulders, to your throat, and back up to your nostrils. In a sense, our attention is like a flashlight beam. We're just sort of shining it on a different part of our body and just noticing what it's like to be fully present for the and now shifting gears to your hands. Bring your full attention to the palms of your hands. Just notice any sensations that you feel there. You can maybe wiggle your fingers or rub your hands together just to enhance the experience of sensation there. And just notice like your full attention, that flashlight shining on your hands right now. Just be completely present for what it's like to have hands, temperature, the texture. And stop moving your fingers and resting your hands and being still. Maybe noticing the entire process of breathing. So don't focus on any one part of your body that's breathing, but just zoom out for a little bit and notice your entire body being breathed. And the sensations in your hands at the same time. And then folding in your feet into this whole experience. Now the whole experience of your feet and body and hands and breath, all sitting in this chair and just watching, not trying to change anything, simply witnessing your body right here, right now. And take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, open your eyes and come back to the group. And as always, as soon as you open your eyes, just keep noticing your feet, keep noticing your hands, keep noticing breath. And yeah, remember, you can do this anytime this weekend. You can do this as many times as you want. There's no harm in doing this kind of a yeah, if you're in need of it. So I hope that was helpful. Plan on seeing all of you again on Monday at noon, and hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Take care. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if you have questions or want to chat.